Hey guys, I want to talk to you really quick about the Exodus knife and tool Mutant. Now, this will not be a review. As the designer and owner of the brand, I don't believe I should be reviewing my own products. I'm going to leave that to other people. But it is a way for me to talk to you about the knife, why it was designed the way it was, the history of how it came to be, and what I think it's for. So here we have the Mutant, and the size and shape and proportions of this knife are very, very unique. Really quick, let me mention, the quality of this video looks terrible to me. I don't really know why. I think that this phone is just automatically lowering all of the components are like breaking or something so that I buy a new phone. I don't really know, but I don't think that we need a lot of quality for this video. This is about the content, about the story, and about the design. Now you will see me using this knife to advertise it through my Instagram, through my website, through whatever else. Although I won't review it, you'll see it getting used by me. But I want to start off with the history of the blade. So I started working with White River Knife and Tool years ago. I don't know at this point. And originally, when we wanted to release the Jackalope, they contacted me and they're like, hey man, I think something might have went wrong. The knife looks a little bit different than we had planned. A little bit larger, okay? So we had this small run of pre-production Mutants that were a simple digital error or whatever the case may be. They sent some to me to evaluate and I really liked it. Now the idea behind the Jackalope is a whole lot of utility knife that is very versatile, practical for a very wide range of tasks, but fits comfortably into your pocket and weighs almost nothing. It's a larger version of the Adventure Craft, which doesn't have as much size or long-term use comfort, but is even easier to carry. But that was the idea of the Jackalope, and when it got bumped up a size, I immediately felt that this blade had more potential for as a primary belt knife, or even to have some combative capabilities. But the original knife did not feature the swedge. We had literally the Jackalope handle. We had no guard near the front before the edge. Less aggressive pommel for security. So we sold those as a special edition knife, and those are going to be very special forever because not many of them were made. They were a literal mutant, and that's where this name comes from. The Jackalope organically mutated into the Mutant. At first it was an oopsies. Now in the future you may see some differences with this knife. It's intended to have a couple of grooves in the handle here and here that will connect it to the Legionnaire, which is coming. We may do a fuller through here, but for the purpose of this video this is fine. The first probably, I don't know, 50 of these will be as you see here. So why did I feel like we had some potential combative capabilities? This long handle gives you a lot more capacity in hand, a lot more security while wearing gloves and everything else. It looks odd because the handle is nearly as long as the blade, and I have a size large hand. I have long, skinny hands, and this is what you get here. And so aesthetically, you're not going to get this because we are used to a shorter handle as compared to the blade. So this longer handle, what this is going to do, for one, for some of my buddies with absolutely massive paws, like my leather guy who did this sheath, by the way, Michael Spaniers, His hand right now would probably be like up here and like out here. It's literally a bear paw. This knife is going to do a whole lot for him, and probably in a knife this size, probably a whole lot more than any other knife that he's going to find. But also, I'm not going to claim to be a knife combative authority, expert, or anything else. I've very little bit of experience in that realm, but I do know that in a lot of different styles of knife combat, extra pommel can be used as a hook and as other things within the style of combatives. So that extra pommel can give you some benefit there. It can give you some benefit with your lanyard, but at the end of the day, a lot of times with real hard use, real discomfort, with frozen hands, with everything else, more handle often is more better. So we added the swedge. A lot of people are asking about this swedge. That could potentially go a little bit more on the side of combative things for penetration, but also we have this tip here, which is going to be slightly finer for, honestly, for bushcrafting stuff, for stuff that you should be using a tip for. That does not include jabbing your knife into something and prying it open. That's certainly not what a swedge is for, right? But getting into something for some nice cuts, I see this actually for self-aid, removing foreign objects from inside the body. We'll just say a splinter or whatever else. This finer tip, it's very, very controllable with the larger handle and everything else, and it can really help you with some of your delicate work, okay? Now, I do not ever intend to hype one of my products. I need to make money, don't get me wrong, but I cannot stomach people who do that disingenuously, who are willing to advertise something beyond their understanding, skill set, or knowledge, because they are advertising to other people who do not have these skill sets or knowledge. So I will tell you, in an effort to be completely transparent, so this handle being more narrow and this blade being more narrow, there are going to be people, especially when they first pick up this knife, who do not find it comfortable. The Jackalope and the Adventure Craft, some people felt the same way at first, but these a little more quickly due to the blade length, people figure out a grip to use these with that is incredibly comfortable, despite having different ergonomics than what most people are used to. But the longer handle on the Mutant makes it feel different. Now, almost anybody, I'm going to say everybody, will be able to get used to this handle and get a lot of comfort out of it. But it is a trade-off. And I believe that trade-off is worth it, which is why I'm investing in this model. And here's why. We've got a larger knife that has enough size to comfortably do a vast variety of tasks. But the shallow size of it makes it incredibly easy to carry and incredibly lightweight. So we've got a 5-inch blade here, but it's going to carry like most other knives with a 3-inch blade. You can do an incredible amount with this knife without sacrificing a lot of space or weight. And once you get used to this handle, again with the length, it's going to give you a lot of leverage and practical application without any hits on your weight or size. It's about getting as much function and versatility out of a blade like this with as little constraints on weight and size, because the biggest thing that I personally find people have problems with is the size and the sheath making a knife feel unwieldy for a person to carry so that they don't carry it. And a knife that's not carried has no value. I want you to carry your knives, and this one is going to be incredibly easy to carry. Now, it is not your heavy-duty, hard-use survival blade. These are in A2. We might have some premium options besides A2 in the future, but for now they are in A2. It's going to hold an edge for a good while, considerably longer than 1095 might. It's going to be considerably tougher than 1095. It's not going to have almost any corrosion resistance. Earn a good patina on your blade, show that you use it. The best oil for any knife, the best corrosion resistance for any knife is use. So use the crap out of it. But I will be doing quite a bit of batoning through this knife, but this knife is not going to be your overbuilt to hell and back knife. It's going to have enough toughness for any practical and many impractical uses, however. And the fact that you are going to be more likely to carry it, I assure you, than you would be to carry that heavy-duty survival knife means this is more likely to be your survival knife. Or this is more likely to be your survival knife. Or the adventure craft is more likely to be your survival knife because people enjoy carrying them every single day. Or if you have not bought knives from me, chances are the pocket folding knife, probably from Walmart or whatever, will end up being your survival knife. And that's what I'm trying to get away from. I want to design these knives that are actually going to be used and going to be used a lot. I have designs down the road that are going to be more heavy duty, that are going to be more purpose driven. And a lot of people will purchase those and a lot of people will love those. However, not as many people will actually take them out and use them. The balance of this knife, the balance of its capabilities, it is what is unique about this knife. And I think that this blade will be another home run. And currently, these knives are going to cost about $230. And my brain, being stuck 15 years ago, looks at that as being really expensive. I know a lot of you will feel that way. Money's hard to come by right now. But right now, for what people are going to get, it's really cheap. I'm not saying that because I'm selling it. Like, I am a knife enthusiast myself, continuing to buy knives. It's going to be really cheap for a knife with these capabilities. The design is, people say that there's no such thing as a new knife, and for the most part they're right, but right now in the market there is nothing like the Mutant. It's going to fill a gap that people didn't know was there, and when people discover that and start using this knife, they're going to wonder why it wasn't there. And in about 2 years you're going to see other brands start moving in this direction. I've already seen it. We're going to continue seeing it. So that's my overview, guys. It was quick. These are going to be available at exodusknifeandtool.com. I want to keep these in stock for you guys. It's very difficult to do, but I really try to do it. More realistically, they will be available in drops. So if you go to the website and there are none in stock, the best thing to do is to check the blog and subscribe to the email list and make sure that when I get another run of them, that you are aware of that and can be ready. I try to give people some advance notice. If you're watching this on November 4th, I think it is today, or 5th or whatever, Tuesday, then these are going to be available at the fall gathering at Georgia Bushcraft in Watkinsville, Georgia. I think I will have about 7 of them available, and when I get back from that, I will have about another 7 available on the website. These will not have my standard colors, which is this stonewash, but this is a patina, guys, so when you get your new knife, it's not going to be all stained up and ugly like this. Although I would encourage you to make yours like this through use, because this is the way, in my opinion, it should look. I would sell these brand new like this if people liked that and if I could get away with it, but I can't. Anyways, nice stonewash finish, almost a mirror finish on these first ones, and Dymilux handle scales here, and eventually OD green Kydex will be the standard, but I only have one of those. The rest are going to be custom. So let's see, I think that's about it. I think that's a general overview. I think I've kind of told people the purpose behind the design here. From here on out, I'm sure that we're going to see YouTube videos from other people. You can see if their opinions match my own. Some of them won't. Some people will grab this knife and they'll immediately decide they won't like it. They'll only use it, most knife channels only use a knife for 2 to 3 hours total in the lifespan of the knife. So that won't be long enough for them to, for some people to appreciate the potential of this blade. That's okay. That's how it's going to happen. And some people won't like it at all no matter how much they use it. That's okay too. But for the most part, I think that people are going to figure this out pretty quick. My intention as a designer is for my designs to speak to a user and tell them what the knife is for without me having to say anything. That sounds ironic, being that I'm sitting here telling you what the knife is for before it's released, but most of the people that buy this knife will have never seen this video. And I want them to pick up this knife and say, every knife I design, and say, I know exactly what this knife is for. That's my goal as a designer. It's not so much about a design language, it's about a design feel. Well, I forgot a bunch of stuff, but you know what? I'm getting ready to go to Georgia Bushcraft, and I'm out of time, so that's what I've got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a blessed day. Talk to you in the comment section below.